I'll come back from that quick break there. Don't forget, it's Mybet.Africa. It's Odds 360, where we'll be bringing you every single odd to your doorstep, where we'll be telling you the juicy odds you should go out there to place your money on to win some cash on Mybet.Africa. But we'll be heading straight into the UEFA Nations League. A match is coming today and tomorrow. That is Saturday and Sunday. And so you keep it lock on. We're going to give you some juicy odds there. As you can see, Don Perry with me, and also Francis Agwebo. So stay with us. Before the close of the show, definitely I'm sure you're going to have some cool odds you can place your money on, and then you can bet on Mybet.Africa, and you can win some cash after the close of the games. But we just delved straight into on Saturday games. A big one coming up for Portugal as they play against Czech Republic. But how do you see that one, panel?
Well, if you look at what the Portuguese team have been doing in the past 1 year under their coach, that will help them to win the World Cup, the 2016 European Cup.
Yeah.
You could tell that it's rebuilding, but they keep blowing hot and cold. Players like Rafael Leao, players like Bernardo Silva. You could tell Joao Felix of Atletico Madrid. They have the stars. Joao Cancelo of Manchester City. The players are there. It's all about gelling, the mentality, the winning focus. They need to get that one back on board because their talisman, Cristiano Ronaldo, this season is struggling for playing time in the English Premier League with Manchester United. But Ronaldo on any given day can score goals across any competition. So with him, it's all about getting the balls to him and you bang in the goal. But Czech Republic with Patrick Schick and co, we've seen what they've done in the UEFA Championships. They've been brilliant. And any given day, they can make life difficult. Playing at home against the Portuguese, Derek, is not going to be easy. But I expect goals to rain in that game. Make no mistake about it.
All right,
that game will never end in a draw.
He says that the game will never end in a draw. But there's a Czech Republic side who, the very first win they pick up against this Portuguese side was in 1996, where they had to beat them by a goal to nil. Since then, the Portuguese side have actually ride on a win, back-to-back wins for them. You think that Patrick Schick and his men today, this time as they are playing on home soil, they can actually repeat what they did in 1996.
Play at home gives them the edge over Portugal because they will have their 12th man behind them. But this Portuguese side that is sport for choice as far as personnel are concerned. Rafael, who is a key man for AC Milan in the Serie A, always find himself on a bench whenever he plays for the national team. If you look at the setup of that, Fernando Santos, the coach of Portugal, parades, he prefer to go with the more experienced players and introduce the newbies later on in the game. Portugal are leading the pack. How do you call it? Are second behind Spain. As far as that group is concerned, they have 7 points. Portugal have got 4 points. So they will need to win so that they can qualify for the next stage of the competition. Czech Republic themselves, who are having 4 points, a win will send them 7 points apart with Portugal. So playing away from home, Portugal is going to be a tough game for them. And I believe the Tenka team will have an eye on that game because they will be trying to pick 1 or 2 points from that game to add to their tactics because we shall face them in the World Cup. So it will be a straight win for Portugal over there. Even if they win, I see Czech Republic giving some players in that game tomorrow.
I mean, let me still stick with you. In that same group, in Group A of the Nations League, Spain will take on Switzerland.
Yeah.
But in the last 6 games between Spain and Switzerland, neither of the team have actually scored 2 or more goals in that fixture. It proved to be a very dicey and difficult fixture for both sides.
Yeah, I like how Luis Enrique is trying to rebuild their Spanish national team. You know, though a lot of players had a lot of mileage in their legs, so he decided to bench them and bring on new guys to, really score their form. Remember in 2008, 2010, 2012, Spain were
they won everything.
They won everything as far as football. The national side is concerned. So Luis Enrique is trying to rebuild a new look Spanish national team. And as you speak, they are lying top of their group. They have 8 points, and then their opponents are lying bottom.
They're actually unbeaten in that group.
Yeah, so it's I see Spain as favourites going into that game tomorrow.
Absolutely, but then still with Spain and Switzerland. Switzerland have, their last 4 games, they've lost 3 of them and won 1. The last time they actually beat Spain was in Group H of the 2010 World Cup, a 0-0.
Yeah.
Could that happen again?
It will tell you, in that sequence of 2008, 2010 to 2012. It was Switzerland that was the only team that broke them down. Even though Spain won the 2010 World Cup, Switzerland was the only. I think that goal was scored by Fernandes. Brilliant strike, I think in Rustenburg in South Africa, the World Cup. But after that, Spain sparkled. They put everyone to the sword in front of them. But like you say, if you look at the European Championships, this Switzerland team knocked out the all-star studded French national team that everyone tipped them to win the European Championship.
Yeah.
So, in that quarter-final that they played, and they got booted out of the competition, they lost some of the players through injury. Their captain, Granit Xhaka, never played in that match after they eliminated the French guys. But with him at the heart of their midfield, they can cause problems to any team. Right now, Spain are under transition, getting in Ansu Fati, Inaki, Nico Williams, and Co into the national team setup.
Ferran
Torres, Iglesias. Iglesias has been brilliant for Real Betis in the La Liga this season. Yes, they will cause them problems, but Switzerland on any given day, you and I know, can make life extremely difficult for everyone. But Spain, on the flip side, are not fond of losing matches on their home turf.
Spain, on the flip side, are not fond of losing games on their home turf. But before we delve into Group B, what do you think the permutations could be in terms of odds for our viewers out there? In Group B, Portugal, Czech Republic, and Spain, Switzerland.
Portugal, Czech Republic, I will go for both teams to score. And Spain, straight win against Switzerland.
Spain, straight win against Switzerland, and Portugal's game against Czech Republic, both teams to score. That is Francis Agbe's thought. Your thought, Perry?
Czech, Portugal, I'll go for a win or draw for Portugal, and then a straight win for Spain.
A straight win for Spain, and he will go for a win or draw for Portugal in the game against Czech Republic. Now in Group B, we've got Armenia and Ukraine, another crunchy game coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, we've seen Ukraine, despite all the invasion from Russia, rose all the way into the qualifying phases, the knockout qualifying phases of the European qualifiers, where they got beaten by Wales in the final, in a match that they gave everything about. Definitely one person has to lose, and Gareth Bale, old Gareth Bale, brought his evergreen nature to the folklore, and he popped up with a brilliant strike against them. But what will plague this team is they don't have, I don't think they have Yarmolenko, neither do they have Alexander Zinchenko, who is the captain of the national team who plays for
Zinchenko
Arsenal.
actually missed the game against Scotland.
Yeah, so he's injured. And whenever these players don't play, it has a telling effect on them. But if you look at the flip side, what the other team brings on board, they are not a country that punches above their weight as well. So if you look at this, I'll go for either a win-win or over 1.5.
A win-win or over 1.5 between Armenia and Ukraine. Armenia has never beaten Ukraine. Ukraine have always, had a better ride on Armenia. But now we've seen some, wonderful, display from some teams in the UEFA Nations League when it just started some 2 days ago. You think that Armenia playing at home, they could have that 12 man behind them to actually ride on the victory, because we've seen Ukraine already losing their game against Scotland.
Ukraine may have lost their first match against Scotland by 3-0. But whenever Ukraine are playing after the invasion, it's always an emotional moment. Armenia always find it difficult playing against Ukraine, and Ukraine will line second behind Scotland. Just a point. We'll be looking to make amends after losing to Scotland last Friday. I expect them to win against Armenia because without even Zinchenko, they've got other players like Malinowski of Atlanta, their mates, Yarmolenko is over there, and other good players, Yaremchuk. They are all players who are doing very well for Ukraine.
Modric.
Yes, Modric.
The number 10 of Shakhtar Donetsk.
We saw what he did in the Champions League. So I believe they've got a personnel who can cause damage to Armenia, because Armenia themselves are not playing that very well. So I see Ukraine winning this game against, even though they are playing away from home.
He says Ukraine winning it even though they are playing away from home, but it's an all-English derby between Scotland in Ireland. It promises to be another crunchy one. But for Scotland, they've just lost one in their last 4 games. They've won 3 of those.
In the UEFA Nations League, they've been absolutely brilliant with whatever they've done so far in the group stages.
Yeah.
But against the old nemesis, bad blood, the British, you know what they bring on board. Scotland, be it Scotland versus England, England versus Wales, Scotland versus Ireland, Northern Ireland. It's always a blockbuster event. Everything comes to a standstill. And in such matches, they play the same brand of football, the same mentality, the same approach. And one thing about them is quick passing range, fast, free-flowing, attacking football depicted at its maximum best when they play against each other. And you never get short of goals in such matches. So in these matches, you could tell that Scotland, coming back just at the back of that mauling of Ukraine by 3 or 4 goals to 0 on Wednesday or Thursday, trust me, they will be going into this man raring to go, firing on all cylinders. And I expect goals to rain in this game, Derek.
So what's your odd prediction?
I think I'll be going for I'll be going for 2 options over 1.5 and over 2.5.
Over 1.5 and over 2.5. It still goes raining in that game. But finally on this one, Scotland, the last time they faced Ireland, they were actually beaten by 3-0. You think that it's a redemption for Scotland?
I still remember that match very well at the Dublin Stadium, in Aviva Stadium in Dublin, where Ireland put 3-goal past Scotland in that heated rivalry at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Scotland will be going to that match having beaten Ukraine by 3-0. But you know, the rivalry between the two nations is epic anytime they meet. I see goals in that game. Scotland will try to do one over Ireland because they were whipped by 3-0 the last time they met. But I see how do you call it, Ireland coming strong again, because if you look at the personnel they have, Scotland may have McTominay, McGinn. They have a lot of players who play in England actually play for their team. But I see Ireland too strong for Scotland in this game. Even though I'll be going for goals, if I'm to tilt it, I'll still go for a win or draw for Ireland.
Right, you still go for a win or draw for Ireland, but due to the invasion of Ukraine, Russia will not be taking part of the UEFA Nations League, and so it proposed Israel and also Albania to be in another Group B, where they're going to have Norway and Slovenia in that same group, as well as Serbia and Sweden. And so France will walk us through the Israel-Albania game. You think that it's another good game for our viewers to actually stake something for Israel or Albania?
Israel of late, when they play at home, they've been brilliant. Teams find it difficult to beat them in Tel Aviv. Zahavi and Co, who plays for PSV Eindhoven at one point in time. You know, they punch above their way when they play against teams that are on their level, unless they are playing against the powerhouses of European football like Italy, France, Belgium, England, Spain, Germany. Those are the teams that bully them. But when they play against Belarus, Armenia, Luxembourg,
Malta,
they accept their experience, the hard way that they learn against the top European. They managed to beat those that are on par with them. So trust me, in this game, I expect them to win this game comfortably.
I'm looking at the table now, and Norway has got 10 points. Slovenia got only 2 points. The last time they met, Norway won by 3-2. The last time they met, it was goalless in Oslo. But if Haaland starts that game, it's a threat. Odegaard might not start because he's carrying some injury, but he got quality to show up for his absence. But I don't see Slovenia going past Norway in this fixture. It's a straight win for Norway, but if you want to be on the safer side, a win or draw or an over 1.5 will not be bad at all.
Right, but we should stay in that group. It's going to be Mitrovic and Alexander Isak. And you know what? After the international duty, they're still going to face off again in club football, where Fulham will be at home to entertain Newcastle United at the Craven Cottage. But they have to battle out in the international terms. Mitrovic against Alexander Isak. So Sweden and Serbia, but Serbia plays at home.
Both teams have got strikers who are now playing the English Premiership. But I like the transition of Mitrovic from Fulham, the Championship, and then scoring 40 goals in 40 appearances for Fulham, the Championship, and then
transferring that
having scored 6 goals so far in first 8 matches for, how do you call it, Fulham over
Fulham.
there.
Mm.
So it was an interesting match. Isaac, who moved from the La Liga to the Premiership, also got 2 goals.
Yeah.
The last one against Bournemouth, when he had to save them at
From the penalty spot.
penalty spot. So good game.
Mm.
The eyeballs will be on the both strikers, but I feel with Tadic and Co from Ajax playing for Serbia, they have got an edge over Sweden in this fixture.
You've got an edge over Sweden. So, I mean, permutation, your prediction on in terms of, you know.
A win or draw for, how do you call it, Serbia, or an over 1.5 in that game.
All right, a win or draw for Serbia or an over 1.5 in that game. But for the sake of time, we'll run you through the fixtures quickly so that they'll just give us our predictions for you so that you can also, you know, get your betting odds quickly so that you can wrap it up for us. So, Francis, Northern Ireland will take on Kosovo. What's the permutation?
Straight win for Northern Ireland.
All right, Greece and Cyprus. Greece are playing away from home. What do you make of that as well?
Greece to win that game for me, because they also play some nice football over there. This is for me.
All right, but on Sunday, Austria are in action. They will be taking on Croatia.
Blockbuster. Croatia beat Denmark yesterday, and it was an end-to-end stuff. The Croatians with Luka Modric as their talisman are playing some brilliant stuff. The transition, Croatia is a tiny country, but they always find a way to put in solid teams like Davosuke's reign past, Modric's time past, Mario Mandzukic, and now it's the time of Ante Rebic and co. And they are playing some brilliant stuff. They have world-class players. I think it will be extremely difficult. It's going to be a tough game, but it will be extremely difficult for the home team to beat them.
It should be difficult for Austria to beat them. Denmark take on France in Copenhagen.
Another marquee fixture over there. Denmark, having lost to Croatia, we're trying to make a mess when they play at home. But the defending world champions France, to me, are too hot for Denmark over there. So, with the likes of Mbappe, Olivier Giroud, who has really quite his form, scoring for club and country, the partnership with Mbappe at the top of the attack for France, I see France edging Denmark over there. So it's a win or draw for France or an over 1.5 in that game.
Win or draw for France or an over 1.5 in that game. But the big one, Netherlands take on Belgium.
That's huge.
That's a cracker. Under Louis van Gaal, the Netherlands have rediscovered their free-flowing attacking football, led by Memphis Depay, Bergwijn, and the Barcelona midfielder Frankie de Jong, and co. Cody Gakpo and co have been infused into it. And if you look at what they are doing, you look at Malaysia. Those guys are playing some brilliant stuff, and they have seasoned players from the European Championship like Denzel Dumfries of former captain of PSV and now plays for Inter Milan. So, and then the defender Matthias de Ligt. So they have experienced players, they have young players that are very experienced, played for Ajax and Move, and they are dotted around some of the biggest European clubs currently. So if you look at what is, and then you look at Belgium on the flip side, this is going to be the match of the round, aside the England versus Germany tie. But I think this is going to be an end-to-end stuff, and this game will not lack goals. Trust me, there will be goals in this game.
There will be goals in this game. So you think overs
will play over 1.5, over 2.5.
Over 1.5, over 2.5. Sure bet for Francis. But what do you make of it?
A marquee fixture over there. I like what Netherlands are doing. You know, the last 4-5 years have been good for the orange of Netherlands, and they are trying to rebuild under Louis van Gaal. So I like what the man is doing, putting young players together who are ready to work for the national flag, playing some nice football over there, having beaten Poland. They'll be trying to have a go over Belgium, who to me in their golden generation, some players are going to fizzle out after the World Cup. So it's going to be a very nice fixture, and I believe Netherlands to win or draw for me.
Netherlands to win or draw, but Poland and Wales both lost in their last game. How do you see that one pan out?
These are two nations. Yes, these are two nations that lost their previous match. Wales, who are going to the World Cup, and they play at home in Cardiff to Poland, who wear a specialized armband from Shevchenko at the World Cup. So if you look at the table, Wales have to win to avoid relegation because they have 1 point, Poland has got 4, and lose over there, relegate them down the pecking order as far as the nation is concerned. So playing at home, goals must punch above themselves to get a result over Poland. But Poland themselves have got some quality players in over there. So I don't see them winning. So a win or draw for Poland over there for me.
A win or draw for Poland over there. But Turkey, who surprisingly played out a 3-3 draw against Luxembourg last time out, they played Faroe Island. How do you see that one?
Turkey themselves have been blowing hot and cold. So when it comes to Turkey, you just have to be extremely careful about what you choose. It's either you go for a win-win or you go for over 1.5 for Turkey, because Turkey themselves, they've been off color for some time now.
Luxembourg and Lithuania.
Luxembourg to win that game for me, because Lithuania are not playing it in any fine football at all. After 5 matches, they managed to pick only 1 point, having considered 13 and scored only 2. So they are shipping goals over there. So if you don't have the confidence to go for a Luxembourg straight win, just go for goals and you'll be safe in that game.
Both Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan they all won their game the last time out. Now they come neck to neck against themselves. How do you see that one?
Azerbaijan have been brilliant when they play around teams that play like Luxembourg and co around them. They managed to get proper results out of those matches. The other side, it will be difficult for Luxembourg to get something meaningful out of this game. But Azerbaijan at home, trust me, they've even managed to pinch points from some of the heavy European teams. I expect them to win this game.
You expect Azerbaijan to win this game playing at home, but surprisingly Slovakia was at home and got beaten by Azerbaijan. But today, on Sunday they'll be playing against Belarus. You think they have to come back from bounce back from a losing position?
Obviously, they have to bounce back, and if you have got Belarus in front of you to appease the fans for that defeat the other day, Slovakia have to win that game to appease their fans. So I see a straight win for Slovakia, because Belarus themselves are not doing good at all. Scoring only 2 goals and conceding 6 means they are a side ship in the goal. So straight win for Slovakia for me.
Francis finished with Andorra and Latvia, then he can take on Moldova and Liechtenstein.
Andorra and Latvia, if you look at that team, the way the two teams play, I don't expect them to end in a draw. I'll go for a win-win.
Go for a win-win between Andorra and Latvia. And finally, one on Sunday is Moldova and Liechtenstein.
Moldova aligns second with 10 points behind Latvia. Liechtenstein, after 5 matches, have not won any game. They've shipped in 9 goals and scored only 1. So I see goals in that match over 2.5, even over 3.5, because Liechtenstein, they are a side that conceded. They have got a leaky defense, and Moldova should be partying at home when they play them.
So over 3.5 scoreline on the day. Well, let me say thank you very much, Don Perry, and also Francis Agboibo for helping me out iron every single detail in the show, the segment of the show. That is all 3CC. I'm sure you love the show. I'm sure you've jotted down some odds to place your money on so that you can smile going to work on Monday. But before I leave you, it's Play Ghana, Cheer Ghana promo that is actually ongoing for Mybet.Africa. It says that Qatar 2022 at your fingertips. Yes, Mybet.Africa is taking you to watch the Black Stars play live at the World Cup in Qatar 2022. Build your chances by staking your bets with Mybet.Africa by following these simple steps. The very first step, have an active Mybet.Africa account. Place a minimum bet of 20 Ghana cedis or more to qualify for the entry. Send your bet slip ID by dialing a short code of *447*14# *447*14# and follow the process. Then enter your bet slip number as reference number. Remember, you can enter as many bets as you want to increase your chances for the final draw. Thank you very much for sticking and stay with us. We'll come up with you live on your screens again, same time next Saturday. It's bye for now.